Hi there, Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter. It is Sat Chat time. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. It has been a second summer here in Maine this week. It has been so nice. I'm actually filming this Thursday afternoon because we're going out. We're going to take, my husband and I are going to take our son and his girlfriend out to dinner. And so I'm like, well, why waste the makeup, guys? Because I look like a sketchy hobo most of the time. So put my fancy makeup on and then do it all in one go. It's been a good week. I've been working on my new class, 30 Days to Better Watercolor Painting, and I've got a big old stack of paintings over there, and I think this is going to be really fun. I'm using, well, you can take the choice, but this is going to be a super duper small supply class. Traditional watercolor. We're not pulling in any crazy mixed media stuff in there. 9 colors, but you can use these 9 colors are from the Pretty Excellent set of 36. So they're basic colors, but you could just buy this for like 20 bucks and have all those colors that we're using in the class, plus a bunch of others if you want to branch out. But I like that because those are kind of your basic colors. So when you use up the lemon yellow, you can buy lemon yellow from Da Vinci, Daniel Smith, M. Graham, Winsor Newton, whatever brand you want to try, and you can do that for each color as you use them up. So I like that. That's why I kind of disagree with a lot of people that say, you know, start off with professional paint, don't start off with anything less, because if you can find a good brand of paint that's not crazy expensive, the Miliang Pretty Excellent set of 36 has been the one to beat ever since I found this set in 2017. I bought it on a whim because I thought the tin was cute and I had a gift card. I have not found one to compare as nicely to this. And I feel like it doesn't hinder you when you're learning. That's why I'm using it for this class, because it's inexpensive and I feel like it takes like just a barrier away. And yeah, it just performs so well. And then as you use up a color, you use up sap green, buy a tube of professional sap green. That's the time to spend the money on the professional paint. You know you're using it enough to justify it. And then you're going to level up. You're going to see that quality increase. But this way you only buy the tubes of the colors you actually use and you actually like. Everyone has their own different preferences. There's, you know, even if you're doing a split primary like color palette, you may prefer alizarin crimson to permanent rose, to quinacridone rose, to magenta. You'll have a color you like a little bit more. And that way you can try out a bunch of colors and then choose the one that you like the most when you use it up to refill from a tube. I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer. But anyway, I know I'm a little off-center with the general opinions of a lot of people, but there you go. There you have it. That's my opinion, and we welcome yours. What else? I have notes. Oh, this is up in Critique Club right now. So I took an extra picture when I went urban sketching with my friend Karen last week, and my sunglasses were just sitting there next to my drink, and my pen, my little Derwent line maker, was sitting there, and I'm like, that is so cute. So I snapped a pic, and I love the kind of blurry background, and I'm like, that would make just such a great still life at home that I can do, and I can focus and I can use the materials that I want to use. And so I decided to use that for that lesson, and you can find a real-time version in Critique Club or the time-lapse on my YouTube channel. One other little bit of business is that there is one spot left in my Uptrek French retreat. It's a shared room, and I think that's kind of, so I was talking to my husband, I'm like, why did they cancel? You know, I was like having an existential crisis, as I often do. And he's like, well, Lindsay, they're probably Americans like us, and wouldn't you be kind of weird about sharing a room with a stranger? And I'm thinking, oh yeah, but there's going to be a Facebook group, so we'll all know each other before we go, so it's not like we're really going to be strangers. But anyway, so that did put a little perspective in there. So yeah, that's probably a very European thing. It's a very either European thing, or you're going off to college and you're sharing a room with a random person, which can work out great, or it can be, you know, a total tragedy. I'm so glad it worked out well for my girls. My daughter Lila had a random roommate last year, and they ended up choosing to live together this year with a couple other friends. And my daughter Maisie knew her roommate beforehand because they went to high school together, and then they ended up renting a place together with another friend. So it all worked out. it's kind of those fun, but it's kind of fun when you're kind of thrown into those experiences outside of your comfort zone, because I feel like that's where you really, you know, you're forced to kind of grow, and, you know, you're forced to be awake and to be aware, and to, you know, you're forced out. You can't just go hide in your room. You're forced to deal with people and to talk with people and to get to know people. And that's something that I feel like we are so sorely missing in our modern society. We can hide at home and just not interact with anyone. And another thing that's kind of really interesting, oh, by the way, this is Sat Chat. So if you're watching this video, you're like, what is this? This is not an art tutorial. This is not a craft tutorial. There's nothing frugal about this. Sat Chat is just, you know, random stream of consciousness chit chat every week we all have here, and then we continue into the comment section down below. So if you're new here, welcome. Make yourself comfortable, chit chat in the comments down below, make a new friend, get out of your comfort zone and enjoy life. So yeah, I think we don't do that enough these days. And so I try to make a point of it. I try to make a point to get out and do different things and talk to people and meet new people, and just say yes to life, because we don't know how much gas is left in the tank. So we gotta make the most of it. So what's new? I've been working on my class. That's going well. I'm hoping, I'm about half done. I'm hoping that, a little more than that. I'm hoping to launch in a week. But we will see. We will see, won't we? Yeah, because most of the stuff I think I've done a lot of time-consuming stuff already. So yeah, I'm excited about that. I think people are really going to enjoy it. What else is new? Oh, do you see that swatch behind me? I know someone's going to ask me, what is that swatch behind you? So Derwent has these new, they've rebranded a bunch of their XL products. So like those big chunky blocks, and they've come out with the Inktense XL blocks, which, because I teach classes for Derwent on Michaels, they keep me in stock of like the newest products so that I can use them in the classes. And so I got a chance to swatch these out and play with them a bit this week. And I don't think they're available. I think they're going to be available to buy in, some of them are available. Some of the older Derwent XL products are available, but they've changed them up. So there are, and I do have a video on the new versus the older release. So that will come out, I think, next week or maybe the week after. It's coming out soon because I know they're going to be available on Blick, and they'll probably be cheaper on Blick than Amazon. And I saw that on Amazon they were going to be available sometime in September. They were like on pre-order or whatnot, but they have rebranded everything, and they've changed a few of the colors in some of the sets that they're keeping, and they've added some more sets. So it's kind of fun, especially if you like to sketch. I would really love to find another life drawing group, because I think some of those products would be really good for that. But anyway, yeah, that's what that was. I just realized, oh, that's on the easel behind me, so somebody might ask about that. But what else is new? Look at my list. Last weekend after Sat Chat, well, my daughter had a gig at her first gig. Oh, she did so well. I did mention it in the video description, but I just want to mention it here too. I'm so proud of her. Oh my gosh, she got up and sang in front of these people. She played guitar, she played keyboard. It's just amazing. So talented. It was so nice to watch. Oh, it was so good. And it was so nice to be in old downtown buildings again, because I used to have a studio. I've had a couple of studios downtown in Bangor. So like my email address, it's Art Studios of Bangor, because that's the name of my studios that used to be where I used to teach. I took it over from the original owner, and then I kept it going for a few more years till I got pregnant with twins, and then I closed it down. But oh my gosh, just going in those old buildings, just like, oh, waves of nostalgia. I missed it so much. And I think I also missed that whole like getting or seeing people every day, getting out, getting my coffee at the coffee shop, seeing, you know, people as I walk down the street, the people in my neighborhood, you know, and just kind of missed that. But that was nice. It was so fun. It was so hot up there. I was just like stifling. I'm like, oh, I remember this. I remember summer. We didn't really have one this year, but it's coming back in full force this week, which is nice. I'm here for it. That's why the hair is up. It's just it's hot. It's humid. It's my kind of weather. Yeah. Oh, so Thursday I posted a video called "Is Temu the Real Problem Here?" I think that's what it was called, and that got some really wonderful conversations going. And the comments are great in that video. I highly recommend you watch it if you've been wondering should you shop there? Is it legit? What are the problems? Is it any worse than shopping anywhere else? And that's basically what, that's part of the video. I mean, we talked about, it was like 45 minutes long. I mean, we talked about I don't know, we talked about a lot of different aspects of it anyway. And it's so nice to read such thoughtful comments and listen to people's perspectives, because I don't think there's ever any sort of prescription that we can give people on how they can live their lives, because like I had one person comment that like, I would never shop there. That's just giving money directly to the Chinese Communist government. Shop at your local store instead. And that way you don't. And I'm like, well, if you go to any department store and you buy a t-shirt, you spend, I don't know, $10, $5 or $10, or you buy a t-shirt on Temu or Shein for, you know, probably half that price, that money's still going back over there if it's made there. So I mean, there's just middlemen, and yes, it's great to support your local economy. Is that, you know, I would rather just go in and support my local business because I want to try it on, make sure it fits, make sure it feels good, make sure the seams aren't coming undone, inspect the quality. But I have the time to do that. Not everybody does, and you know, there's no clear black and white answer to any of this. I mean, anytime you consume anything, it is at the expense of something else. So there's a cost to everything, whether we bear it in the form of high prices or we bear it in the form of, or somebody else bears it. You know, we need to just be aware of that and try to get the things that are going to add value to our lives, and not just, you know, grab because it's there, you know. And I don't want to talk. I have plenty of stuff, clearly. But it's just, you know, it's just something to consider. And I like videos like that to make people weigh in and think. And it might give people a different way to consider something. And I love reading the comments because it gives me more food for thought and makes me consider things in different ways. And thinking is fun. We need to think more as consumers instead of just passively consuming. And I feel like there's a lot of just passive consumption. Well, even if you don't buy anything, is passive consumption. You're, you know, scrolling through your phone, you're watching television, you're listening to the radio, and you know, I work in media. My husband's a radio announcer, so you know, we work in this industry of producing things for other people to consume, whether it's visual or it's actual products. It's still something to think about. It's like, well, how do you want to spend your time, you know? And I think it's good. I think it's good to think of those things. But there was a couple comments that I wanted to address because I guess I wasn't clear enough in the video on it. But a couple people have said that the reason things are cheaper at stores like AliExpress and Temu is because the American companies have their stuff manufactured in China, and then after China finishes their order and the American companies have ordered, they run off some extra copies to sell for cheap. And while yes, that does happen sometimes, I don't think that's what's happening with the independent stamp companies, because the independent stamp companies usually have their stamps made in the United States out of photopolymer, and there's a couple of reasons for that. The stamps you're buying on Temu and on Amazon that are kind of like sketchy looking there, and ones that are clearly counterfeit, like you go to the Amazon today's, you know, deals or new releases and arts, crafts and so on, you will see counterfeit Stampin' Up! Stamps every day. The difference is that the ones made or sold from Amazon, Temu, AliExpress, they're going to be silicone because they can make it. It's cheaper. It's a cheaper material, but you have to make a bunch of them. You can't just make 100 of those out of silicone. You have to make a bunch of them. Whereas with photopolymer, you can make, you know, 25 sets, you can make 50 sets. You don't have to make thousands and thousands like you would need to make order minimums with silicone. And it's way cheaper than making the metal matrices for rubber stamps. That's why I like the rubber stamps. When you buy from an independent company that sells rubber stamps, like Lost Coast Designs, probably my favorite. That's probably my favorite stamp company, Lost Coast Designs. They've got to make this metal plate, this metal matrix, and then they've got to melt the rubber in a vulcanizer, and they got to pour it into the matrix, and then they've got to cure it, and then they've got to trim them apart. And you know, it's really amazing how inexpensive red rubber stamps are, considering the amount of work that's in it. But with photopolymer, you need a transparency. So once you make that design, you make that transparency, you can run off as many or as few copies as you want, and you're just out the materials of that photopolymer gel. And you can actually get home machines to do that. A company called Image Pack makes it, and I have the Teresa Collins stamp maker. I will tell you, it's kind of finicky, and the only thing I ever use it for is stuff that I could not buy anything similar, because trust me, it's kind of a pain in the butt to use. So if somebody else makes it and sells it, I will buy it gladly than try to make it myself. So I'll probably waste a couple like packets of gel before I get it just right. But it is kind of fun, and it's nice to have that option. But that's why it can be changed if there's an error on your stamp run or something needs to be changed, or you have a better idea. You can easily change production on it, because you're not limited to a mold that you have to sell so many times in order to break even. So that's the difference. If you are buying from like an independent company, like I would say, you know, like any of those independent companies you would see for sale, like say Gina K Designs, their stuff is photopolymer. Most of the big companies, Stampin' Up stuff is polymer. Close to My Heart is photopolymer. My Favorite Things photopolymer. I think pretty much all of them are going to be photopolymer. The ones that do silicone, the American companies that do silicone would be like Ranger has done silicone, but they also do rubber. I don't know if they make stamps anymore. Like if you buy stamps from the Michaels brand, they're going to be the silicone, because they have thousands of stores. They can make those minimums to send them to all the stores. Any of your big box craft stores, if you find stamps in there, a lot of times, unless they're Hero Arts, they're going to be like Fisker's is silicone. You know, so there just has to be huge quantities in order to make money doing the silicone stamps, even though the silicone is a cheaper material overall. So if you see that Gina K Design stamp on Temu, it's not going to be as large. It's going to be smaller. There might be errors. It's going to be silicone, so it won't stamp as well. But it's not the same exact thing. Is what I'm getting to. And some people believe that it is. Some people believe that these stamp companies are making their stamps over in China, and then the Chinese are just running off extra copies when they're done. As far as dyes, I think a lot of companies probably are doing their dyes overseas just because it is much cheaper. There was one or two big companies doing it in the United States. And I know there was some big issues with one of the companies a couple of years ago, and they were like going after designers, they were going after other stamp companies. Stampin' Up stopped working with this company, and I think that was probably enough for them to really get scared of their spot in the world, and they started suing all these stamp companies that had similar dye, like a style of dye, a dye where it's open in the center. If they were having those produced anywhere, they were like suing this company, these little companies. Okay, it was Sizzix. Sizzix was suing all these. Was it Sizzix? Actually, I'm pretty sure it was Sizzix. Oh my gosh. Allegedly, don't quote me, but you can look it up. It was a big brouhaha a couple of years ago. Because apparently they had patented the process of making a dye that you could see through, that was just like an outline dye. So anybody selling an outline dye, they were saying was infringing on their copyright. It was a big mess. So many companies got sued. Influencers were getting bullied. It was quite a thing. It was quite distressing for a lot of people. People who showed the die cutting process on their videos were getting cease and desist orders if they weren't that company's dye. It was wild. But yeah, anyway, I think when people start to feel threatened, then the fear mongering comes out, and then, you know, you get a lot of everybody accusing everybody of being horrible. So I just want to put out kind of a more balanced overview of the whole situation, I guess. So anyway, but counterfeiting is bad. Don't knowingly buy. I wouldn't recommend knowingly buying counterfeit products, but there's a lot of products out there that are just white labeled. Like the makeup brushes turned ink blenders. I mean, they were makeup brushes first, and then every company has them as ink blenders. Does it really matter who you buy those from? I don't think so. Even the glitter duster, which I bought the name brand glitter duster, and then I saw that it was actually like a cosmetic product that I could have bought for like a quarter of the price, but whatever. And I don't like the product. That was I think what really like irked me. But then again, if I bought the cheap one and it worked the way the expensive one does, I probably would have still bought the expensive one to see, because I would have thought it would work that way because it was a cheap one. No, it's the same thing. It's if you want glitter on everything you own and not on your project, that is a product for you. I laughed so hard when I was using it. It was such a frustrating experience that I just had to laugh. It was just so awful. I do pull it out every once in a while if I need to, I'll use it in a box. Yeah, it was a waste of money, but you live and learn. You live and learn. I was very excited about thinking of glittering all the things because I like glitter, but Yes, and then the microplastic people will be out. That's why I do in a box, so I won't have microplastics everywhere. Oh, what's new? I don't know. Oh my gosh, weirdest thing. On Monday, I posted this video. It was a review of the Art Beak 262 alcohol marker set. And oh my word, I spent so long on that review. It took me like 3 days to swatch these markers because the caps were so close. Sometimes you couldn't even see the difference in the color on the caps. So I had to make swatches to go on the markers because, and paper swatches. And then I wasn't sure if I had all them. I had to like, it was quite a detective mystery job to make sure I had all the colors that I was supposed to and everything. But I got that review done. I uploaded it, scheduled it out, it went live, and then a bunch of people weren't able to watch it, but some people were able to watch it fine, and I was watching it on my phone fine, computer fine. So then I went to cast it on my TV, and it was nothing but a black screen. And so it seemed like there was some incompatibility, like I don't know if the YouTube app updated or something, and that wasn't showing up. It wasn't able to be viewed on the screen. And so it's like I didn't want to. And of course, this is a video where like I log in, I open up my YouTube Creator Studio app and it says, congratulations, this video is doing so much better than the other crap that you produce. Way to go. And I'm like, but half the people can't watch it. So I'm like, I don't want to delete it because it's actually getting traction. But then a bunch of people can't see it. So I'm like, oh, I have the vapors. I don't know what to do. I have a fatigue, people. I have a fatigue. What do I do? So I'm like, I'm just gonna wait because I remember a little glitch in YouTube a couple years ago when anytime I posted anything that was over 45 minutes long or over an hour long, it would start freezing at 45 minutes for about the first couple hours after I uploaded it, then it would be fine. And I would even upload it ahead of time and keep it unlisted. It still would not go past that freezing point until it had accrued so many views. And I don't know if it's like YouTube wouldn't process the video the entire way until it got to that point. I don't know. But I remember that issue from, I think it was like last year or the year before. It was during the pandemic. Everything was weird. And so I'm like, well, I'm just going to hope it corrects itself because I don't want to lose the comments and views I have on that video because I am desperate. I am so desperate for a well-performing video that it's like, it's got wheels, man. It's got legs. I don't want to delete it because if I re-upload it, it won't, all these people have already seen it, so they're not going to click on it, and then, you know, it's not going to get that first hour, that first ever important hour and 24 hours and 48 hours on YouTube that it needs to be able to get recommended in the future. It's such a game. It's such a game. It's like Jumanji. You don't, when you finally figure out the rules, they change it on you. It is exactly like playing Jumanji. And I've been doing this for 13 years. And it's like, it's oh my gosh. I just realized that being a YouTuber is like being an addict. And you're like, oh, that's it. This isn't worth it. I'm going to give it up. I'm going to give it up. I'm going to change my ways. I'm going to change my ways. I'm going to give it up. No more of this. And then this video is your most popular video out of the last 10 videos. Don't you want to upload some more? Hey, little girl, you want some candy? You want some views? You want some... You want some fame, fortune, stardom. I don't know. It's like being an addict, being a YouTuber. It, I guess there's worse things I can be addicted to, but I probably have an addictive personality. That's probably why I've been doing this for 13 years, and it just strings you along. It just strings you along like an abusive boyfriend. That's what being a YouTuber is, friends. Mama, don't let your babies grow up to be YouTubers. Seriously. It's not worth it. Really, I can't complain. It's not too bad. For the most part, I only cry occasionally in the shower. Oh, what else have we been up to this week? I think that's pretty much it. I have a lot of reviews coming up. My review stack has gotten quite low. The paints that I used on that are the brand new, there's a brand new line of paint from Altenew. It's an interesting release. It's 10 colors. They're all open stock, and it's a very interesting combination of colors. And that review is coming up on the 25th. What is today? Today is, I don't know, but it's coming up on the 25th, so it's a while, a couple weeks. And that is, that's interesting. That's coming up. I don't really want to say too much about it and have any spoilers, but that I did enjoy how it worked on that painting. I mean, I like how the painting came out, so that's good. I enjoy reviewing products. I also have been working on a review of the, oh, you know, I do want to tell you guys about this though. I haven't seen, so this is the 36 set Mi Liang paints I recommend, also known as the Pretty Excellent watercolors. I got my first set in 2017, fabulous. Just bought a set during Prime Day, still fabulous. And they contacted me, they have a 52 set coming out. And there's different colors in that set. I have to compare, but I don't think there's that much overlap between the 36 set and the 52 set, but I'm not so far liking the 52 set that much. Now I've only swatched them and done a couple little small paintings with them, so I can't really say definitively yet. I need to try it on some more papers, but I'm gonna say stick with the 36 set still. I know they have a 48 set, which I think is the same as the 36 set. The 48 set does have pigment information. The new 52 set has pigment information as well. But I really don't think you can go wrong with the 36 set. Unless you want those metallic colors, then get the 48 set, I guess. The 52 set, we're still up in the air. There's some stuff I really like about it, but I still don't think it tops that 36 set for me. That's still the one to beat. I don't know if there's ever going to be a set that is as good as that set for the $20 price point, even under $30. I don't think it can be done. Honestly, we've gone through. It's been that was 6 years ago, 6 or 7 years ago when I got that set. I guess it's 6 years ago. And there's been so much inflation. That's still, I paid 20 bucks. It's still retailing for 20 bucks on Amazon. I don't know how they're keeping it that price, and I don't know how, oh, that was something we talked about in the Temu video. It's like, how are they keeping those prices so low? I did hear that Temu does sell below cost to kind of as this land grab acquisition to get as many customers as they can. They are selling stuff super cheap. I saw the cutest little wooden box advertised. It was like an artist satchel wooden box thing, and it was like $1.98 or something. I'm like, what? And so I'm like, well, I'm gonna find that on Amazon. It was like $24 on Amazon. I'm like, still, I couldn't make it for that. If I asked my husband to make me that, he'd be like, go pound sand, just buy it on Amazon. I'm not making you that. Not that he's mean or anything, but it's got all these little hardware things, these little doodads. It would take him hours. It's like, yeah, you buy it for $25. But I think, yeah, they're just selling below cost to get as many customers as they can. It's like doorbusters on Black Friday. The store that gets you to go through their door is going to get most of your money. That's why they will sell stuff for below cost. The loss leader, they will sell that cheap to get you in the door so that hopefully you will buy enough stuff while you're there that they recoup that cost and they make a profit. Because, you know, I don't know about you, I don't like to shop, but the first store I go to, like when I would take the kids back to school shopping, it's like the first store that I go to is getting all my money because I will be done by the time I've taken 3 kids to a department store. It's usually Target. Yeah, and then I learned of the Old Navy back to school sale, and then it was online until they were old enough to shop for themselves, because man, shopping with children, that's just like, that has got to be one of the stages of hell. I don't know. It's so glad they shop for themselves now. But anyway, on that note, I guess we're all done here. That's all I have to say. I sure stretched that out for 28 minutes. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I hope you let me know what you're doing in the comments below. Is it hot where you are? Is it cool? Is it raining? I think it's going to rain this weekend. I hope it turns out nice, though. I want to get that convertible out a little bit more before the fall comes. And yeah, that's it for me. Everything that I mentioned will be linked in the video description if I remember. And until next time, happy crafting. Bye!